Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Prepared State. This is my little channel I'm putting together. I'm gonna basically go over just everyday EDC type of items that we can use for emergency preparedness, weather preparedness. As you see, I'm sitting in the back of my mini SUV. A little crossover. It's a little Buick, but setting it up. You know, I had the trucks and I had four-wheel drive, and I saw the way the economy was going, so I decided to downsize to something to get a little bit better fuel mileage. Which I did tremendously. I about doubled my fuel mileage going from my truck to this. I'm still all-wheel drive capable, but you know, of course, it's not what I want, but it suffices in the situation that I need it for. But anyway, get past all that. I'm in the back of this because this is kind of where this is going. The video I did prior about the BAOFENG radios, this is what I got them for. It's to throw in the vehicle, to have in the vehicle, to use it in an emergency situation, to communicate with my wife and loved ones and friends. So that's what I'm doing with these. This is the BAOFENG AR-5RM. I have the TID radio TD771 GMRS antenna because that's pretty much the only channels that we'll ever use unless it's a dire emergency. Then I'll use one of the other channels. But this is this radio does FM radio. It does the weather bands. It does do the air bands, and then and then it also does the GMRS and the MRS frequencies. Oh, so that's why I got these, because I know that no matter what, we'd be able to have some form of communication between ourselves. Yes, it's not, you know, being secretive or anything like that, but it is being able to communicate to let each other know that we're okay or that we need assistance or something, you know. I've tested them out. We've got about a 5 mile as the bird flies range. We're in a small city. We're not, you know, out in the country. We have some hills, no mountains or anything like that. So, you know, pretty much a flat area, across a couple rivers, and we're able to communicate with each other. This is kind of my step into the GMRS. I had a couple, actually I still have them, the Cobra GMRS and family, the FRS radios, fixed antenna, you know, little base that you can sit them on and charge them, had rechargeable batteries. I still have them, still use them. Whenever we were doing car rides or whatnot in separate cars, and we can communicate without having to call. So that's, you know, it's nice to have for that. And the range is very small. It's you know, a mile or two, and you're lucky. But these ones, like I said, we did a lot better on distance wise. I think, for one, the antenna, I mean, it is tuned for the frequencies, so you know, that would help tremendously when it comes to communication, is having a tuned antenna, or even a external antenna on your vehicle, or I forget what they're called, but it's a wire antenna that you can hang up in a tree, a dipole, I think is what they call them. Setting something up like that, you'd have a lot better communication. But like I said, this is just for a car radio to have in emergencies. Yeah, I do not like, one thing I do not like is when you go into the menu, you have a blue background, well, somewhat blue, with red lettering. I can't see it worth a crap right now.
Menu.
Yeah, can't hardly see it at all. But it does have, on the keypad, it does have your menu quick functions. So you hit menu, and then you can hit the one that you're wanting to get into, and it'll take you to it to be able to function or fix, change whatever you're wanting to do in that actual thing. But it does have one of these,
On.
takes you straight into the weather. Takes you straight into the weather. So the 0 button or the squelch button on the 5RM. This is the AR-5RM. I'm not sure about the other BAOFENGs, but on this one, just press and hold, and it takes you right into the weather mode. And then at the bottom, my generation calls the pound sign or the hashtag. If you press and hold it, oop, I accidentally hit the transmit. 1 second. Let me get out of there. All right, so if I press and hold, take me into the weather. And then if I press and hold the pound sign, it'll start going through the frequencies and finding the closest one or the one that comes in. And then it'll keep doing that. It'll keep cycling through. I'll turn this up a little bit, but it'll keep going through. And it'll just keep going through the frequencies until it finds one. But you can do that on the air bands. You can do that for your whole radio, all the channels in the radio. It'll cycle through. You can actually pick in the chirp programming. You can go in, and I do believe you can pick which ones you want to go through that function. The options that you can set it up. I mean, you know, it's from what I've delved into, and there's a few other channels that I've seen that go into more detail about the actual chirp programming, or even programming it by pressing the buttons. All of those you can do. I mean, you can do so much with it. So I mean, you know, it's a radio that I recommend. I'll put a link down below that will take you to this dual radio set that I bought. It will be an affiliate link, so you know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do get a little bit of a kickback if you purchase through that link, but it'll be for this radio setup. I'll also put a link to the antennas that I bought, and also the cable, because you do have to have a cable that plugs in to your speaker and microphone part of the radio. It'll plug into there, and it communicates through USB cable to your computer to be able to upload and download channels and functions. You can also use some other programming through BAOFENG to change your greeting, the picture, stuff like that. I haven't done any of it. Like I said, I just bought it to have it as a backup radio, an emergency radio. So I just put in the GMRS channels and set it up to both the radios look the same. So either one that I grab, well, I have MRS on mine, but my wife's, I just have the GMRS, and either one of them, she can turn it on. It's already set to the frequencies we use. and she knows which channels to go to. I'm gonna make a little cheat code pamphlet to put in with her bag, and we'll, that way she can pick it up, look at that, go switch to the channel, and she knows she's on the channel that we will communicate on if an emergency arises. But other than that, I'll be going into detail with a few other things. Actually, I got this bag out here. This is a cheap Amazon bag. I actually bought it for a medical pouch to have some, just like a boo-boo kit in the car. But it's I really don't recommend it, but it's cheap. I purchased 2 of them. I put a little kit together for me, one for my wife and her vehicle, and hers kind of sat in the sun a little bit, and the whole top just completely came off. The D-rings came out, so I'm not recommending this one. I got it because it has the little Velcro, and I can put it right here on the back of the seat. Or in a truck, I had Chevy. So under the back seat, if you lift up the seat, it's that fabric, and the Velcro will stick right to it. So, that's what I had, is I had it up underneath the back seat, or if the seat was up, you'd see this sitting there. I have a different one now. Still the same concept. It's a little med pouch. I put it on here so people know. Got a nice tourniquet, and it's it's set up. It's just got a few little items in it. It's not a whole lot. I need to add more and do more, but as of right now, it works. So. But I have that. So this one here, I was going to turn into a tool pouch. So it's going to have just some miscellaneous tools laid out inside of it. That way I can have it in here in the back of the car. And if something comes up and I need a tool that I don't have in my pocket, because I do keep one of my favorite little things from SOG I got a few years ago. Oh, come on, focus. Love this little tool. It's got a little bit of everything on it. And it has come in handy more than once. But I have this little thing I keep in my pocket. So with that, my knife, I can fix little things pretty quickly. But there are instances where you need a 1/4-inch socket, or a 9/16 or a 10 mil. So in those instances, I'm gonna put something together, throw it in here. I'll do a video on that here in the next, hopefully a lot sooner than this one. Life got in the way. I'll throw in a little bit of B-roll, going over some of the details. As I talk, you'll see some video rolling. But hopefully this is a little bit better than that little iPhone video that I shot, just to kind of show you opening the box. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps. It gets this out there, lets people see that there's options. You don't always have to go above and beyond with paying for high dollar stuff to have something that will get you through a bind fairly inexpensively. Like I said in my other video, both of these radios, the antennas and the cord, less than 70 bucks. That's going out to eat a couple times in a week. It's one of those, it's not cheap. If you only need one radio, you can get one for like 20, 30 bucks. I know that they make the ones, I want to say, I think one is the 5RM, one is the UV 5RM. One of them has the smaller screen. One of them is pretty much set up like this with the newer screen on it, but they're locked. You can't do as much with them as you can with this one, and that's why I went with this one. I don't like being told what I can and can't do. Most people are like that, but I figured if I got on, I could find some information out about them. And honestly, I only found a couple of videos, and I couldn't find a whole lot of information. And you get onto some, I'm going to call it a bulletin board, but if you get onto some web pages on the internet, this is like the worst radio in the world, because to have a backup to a backup, it's worth it. It's just a few bucks. I recommend picking one up. Use it for an emergency backup. Eventually, I'm going to get a better radio, because I'm kind of liking, the little bit that we used it. I'm kind of liking. I'm thinking it's kind of fun. I think it'd be useful to have in our cars, have a mobile setup. That way, we're not always reliant on our cell phones to talk to each other, and we can communicate regardless of what we're doing. So, but this is what I think. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I appreciate y'all for the views. Like I said, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when I do post the tool bag video. Give me a thumbs up. A little like helps. Share it, friends, family, or somebody that you're trying to talk into getting something like this as a backup in an emergency situation. I'm out.